Hello, I'm Brian May, Director of Customer Solutions at Profound Logic. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to create a simple API in Profound API. When getting started with a new language or a new development tool, it's almost mandatory that you have a Hello World example. So that's exactly what we're going to build here using Profound API. So our first step is just to go in here to our file listing. I'm going to choose our test workspace that we created in a previous video, select New API File. That's going to set me up a brand new API instance here that I can go ahead and use to create our API. We'll start out in the general info area. We're just going to fill in these properties. You'll notice some are marked mandatory, but I highly recommend that you fill them all out. So we'll give our API a name, so we'll call it Hello World. Summary, Hello World example using Profound API. Our HTTP method, we can just choose from our list here. For this, we're just going to use get. Our HTTP path, this is going to control what the URL looks like for our API. We'll just call it hello, but I am going to pass a parameter called name on the path itself. So I do that just by putting a colon in the path and giving the parameter a name. We'll call it name. You'll notice that there are categories and subcategories and tags and descriptions. All of these things are used for the documentation that Profound API automatically generates. We'll talk about that in a future video. For right now, though, we'll just give it a category of getting started. There we are, and a subcategory, we'll just call it Hello World. Our description, a Hello World example using Profound API. If we scroll down, you'll notice that we have our output description. I'm just going to leave that blank for now, and we have a few checkboxes here for enabling CORS. We can deprecate or disable an API. Those are there if you need them. We don't right now. You'll notice when I added that name parameter to the path, it went ahead and added it to my input parameters tab here. So we have a parameter called name. We'll double click on that and we'll go in. You'll see it's from the path. The data type is a string. We can give an example here. We'll say the example would be Joe. We can give it a description. Again, this falls back to our documentation that's automatically generated. So name to be used in reply. All right, great. Now, we also, in addition to having inputs, an API is generally going to have outputs. So if we switch to our output parameters, we're going to add a new one, and we will just call this reply text. So reply underscore text. We'll leave it as a string. We'll give an example value, so we'll say something along the lines of hello Joe. We can set it up as an array. Again, we can deprecate parameters, and we have a description for our documentation. We'll just say reply value for API. All right, great. So we have all of our basic information set up at this point. So all we need to do now is just add some steps. So we'll just click here where it says add step. And I'm actually, although I could do this in one step, I'm going to break this into 2 steps just to show you some additional features. So describe this step. We can call it create string. And what would we like to do? Well, we're going to come down and we're going to work with our program data. And in this case, I want to use a work variable. A work variable is just a temporary variable used inside of this API. You can use them for all kinds of things. So let's just give it a name. We can call it temp string. We'll specify a value for it. So I'm actually going to pull in my name variable from our input. And I'm just going to put in a little bit of JavaScript to build out our string here. So we'll just say hello, comma, space in quotes. And then we'll use plus to concatenate because that's how you do that in Node.js and JavaScript. We'll do another plus on the other side, and we'll put period, space, and we'll say welcome to Profound API. And we'll save that. So we have our first step. We'll add another step. In this step, we're going to actually, again, program data. We're going to set our API output. Well, it already knows what our output should be because it pulls it from our list of output parameters. And I can come here to fill this in. I could hard code this if I wanted to, but instead I'll just click in it and it gives me a list of what's available. I have my work variable temp string. So we'll just set it to temp string. We'll save our change. All I need to do now is just save my file. So we'll save it. We'll give it a name of hello. And you'll notice here, I now have hello.api.json inside of my test workspace. At this point, this API is ready to go. We can go to the test tab. You'll notice that I have my parameter called name. It even gives me my description, everything that we pulled in, and it pre-filled it with the example value that we plugged in. But I'm going to change that to my name, so we'll call it Brian. We'll run and execute, and you'll see here that I get a reply text of hello Brian, welcome to Profound API. I can even grab my URL and run that in the browser. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're enjoying Profound API.